what's up everybody, it's Gudu from Contrast Gamers, and today we're going to be reviewing Bungie's 1 hour live stream for Destiny 2. Now, like a good portion of the community, I am also a day one veteran player, so I still have the day one disc. It still fucking works, I don't know how. But I'm super excited to see how our adventure will continue throughout the universe. So we're going to be looking at, the backstory of what we know, the new cinematics, weapon mechanics, super mechanics, the 4 new planets we get to explore, and much more, in the hopes that I'm able to answer some of the questions that you guys may have had while watching the live stream as well. So let's go ahead and take our first look at the first cinematic shown during the premiere. And here we get our first look at Zavala, when he's just starting off as a Guardian. And we get to kind of see what it really means to be a Guardian. It's not an easy task. We see him fighting Fallen here. It's his first encounter, and he's not that great. Like, he consistently loses. So we get this sense of, being a Guardian is not an easy task to fulfill. You really gotta work at it. And the more and more we see Zavala grow through these battles that he's losing or winning, he starts to understand more and more about what the light is, what kind of power it holds, and maybe this is something that humanity can rely on. We also get to take a look at Zavala's first encounter with the Traveler as well as the Speaker. And this is something that really stuck in my mind a lot, mainly because this is what the last city started off as. It was just a few campsites. So to see it go from that into the metropolis today is very awe-inspiring. All these individuals that are coming in, flooding into this one area is really what makes the last city the place that we love and know today. Here we get our first look at the Fallen attacking the civilization, so obviously the wall hasn't been built just yet, but we get to take a look at Zavala in action, Lord Shaxx in action, as well as Cade 6 too. In the same trailer, we get to see Zavala awakening his Fist of Havoc. Now, the interesting thing about this is Zavala uses his Fist of Havoc more than once in a short span, which ironically is a new ability for the Striker Titans coming in Destiny 2. Last but not least, we finally get a look at Ikora helping out with the construction of the wall, building her bond with Zavala and Cade over the years. And of course, how can we forget, we get a look at a younger version of Amanda Holliday. Opening up the conference is game director Luke Smith, who talks about the 3 visions Bungie focused on while working on Destiny 2. First off, they wanted a world that pulls you in, having a story that you can relate to and characters you just simply want to be around, within environments you want to explore. Number 2, they wanted more amazing things to do, so solo players, there's more to explore for them. They don't have to necessarily rely on others and create fire teams. Also, all the Crucible activities have now been changed to 4v4. So God Almighty, Trials of Osiris 4v4, that's going to be really interesting to see.
Everyone knows I like the cooperative part of Destiny. And in Destiny 2, we have a ton of new public events, we have brand new strikes, and of course, there's a brand new raid. And we're going to show it right now. No, we're not.
And their last vision was always having someone to play with. A good half of the Destiny community before didn't actually experience the major activities. So this time around, they're making it so that major activities such as Trials, the Nightfall, and the raids will be available to all players. And I don't know if that just means they're planning on abolishing the fact that, hey, you gotta be level 20 to actually do the Nightfall or something like that. So we'll talk about that a little bit further down in the video.
The wait is over. This is Destiny 2.
The next cinematic we are shown is known as Homecoming, where Zavala, Cade 6, and Ikora get together to address a situation where someone might have sabotaged their Skyline defense systems, to which they eventually realize there aren't any satellite feeds to begin with.
What are the set feeds telling us?
Nothing.
Well, that's good, right?
No. I mean, they're not there. There are no satellites.
And that's not good.
Battle stations!
With their failed attempt at trying to protect the tower, the Cabal launched their full assault over the last city. Their main goal? To capture the Traveler and use the light for themselves. Homecoming is the first mission we experience in Destiny 2. Here we can see new ways of how the Cabal are being spawned in, familiar ammo pack drops, as well as a new beautiful environment we get to work with, even with all the destruction that's happening all around us. We are also fortunate enough to see all 3 new super abilities being activated within the Homecoming mission, which of course we'll look at a little bit later on in this video as well. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I probably lost my shit when I saw this. This is the Dubious Volley. This is a thing that was supposed to come out during the Taken King, which didn't, and was also speculated to have come out sometime during the Rise of Iron, but it didn't. It appears that Bungie has decided to toss this infamous weapon into Destiny 2 as an exotic, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this bad boy. Like, look at that thing. That thing's lethal.
Someone told me you need a ride.
After a quick cinematic with Amanda, she drops us off on the command ship of the Red Legion, and the environment is just breathtaking. The amount of detail that they put into Destiny 2 is extraordinary. Also, I hope there's an achievement for blowing up one of those cases before it actually drops out of the ship, because that would be pretty fucking awesome. Another type of weapon I wanted to make note of are grenade launchers. These things have no mercy for any enemies in your path.
The shield generator should be straight ahead.
Your journey ends here.
The game opens with loss and becomes a game about recovery. Recover your powers, become strong again, reclaim your connection to the Traveler, and find powerful new gear, weapons, armor.
Bungie eventually talks about the uprising of Gaul, and how he feels that the Red Legion should have been gifted with the Traveler's Light, rather than the Guardians. Hence why the Red Legion decides to attack the last city, because they feel that it's time for a new set of Guardians to come in. I also decided to freeze frame this because I have no idea what the hell this thing is. It is part of one of the strikes, and so I'm not sure if this is a Vex encased inside some bubble, or if this is a Shrieker from the Hive. So I'm wondering how the Hive might actually play a role in this too, if it really is a Shrieker. Another thing that came to my attention that's enemy related is that all the Hive that were displayed in the live stream were all ashed out rather than their typical bone color. We also get to take a look at some of the more appealing types of armor for the Hunter, the Warlock, and the Titan. Luke Smith also talks about the weapon mechanics and how it's split into 3 sections: kinetic, energy, and power weapons. He talks about how the power weapons are generally fusion rifles, or sniper rifles, or even grenade launchers, and how you can have the same types of weapons in the kinetic and energy slots. So now let's move on to our new types of supers. First off, we'll look at the Warlock, so let's check out the Dawnblade. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is a PvP player's nightmare if you're going up against this thing, because this thing looks like a total asshole. I can totally see this being nerfed in like the first week. When it comes to PvE, this is a lot more refreshing than a self-res, because, you know, there's only so much that that type of super can really do. Next up is Sentinel for the Titans. Now this is more like a Captain America kind of feeling, where you got an indestructible shield and you can just throw this thing wherever you feel like. This thing can also rebound. Now whether it's a perk where you hit one target and it traps others, I have no idea. But this thing looks like a lot of fun and could be a complete pain in the ass for Trials of Osiris. Last but not least, we have the Hunter's Arc Strider. Now the Hunters are pretty much summoning a spear of electricity and are going absolutely insane with this. probably my favorite looking type of super yet, just because of how graceful but destructive this type of super really is. PvP could be an issue, PvE could be really helpful for clearing out a grouping of ads. Did they forget to mention that there was going to be tanks in this game? Because there's fucking tanks in this game.
You could enjoy a sweet.
Now in a previous clip, we see the tank shredding through a bunch of enemies, but one scene that really stuck out was when it was going through the hive. Generally, the hive's literature and glyphs are glowing green, however these are glowing red in this scene. Now obviously I'm not excluding the fact that maybe it's just because it's a different environment and a different planet, but it could be something even further, like this specific type of hive may worship a different type of hive god. As noted before, this type of hive has more of an ash-gray kind of texture to them, rather than their typical white, red, or brown texture. Next up is World Lead Steve Cotton, who talks to us about the new Red War campaign, letting us know that this new adventure is going to take us to new places.
Send you across the solar system and back, where you're going to fight a
Crucible will also be making a return in Destiny 2, with some major changes. Across all activities, everything will be 4v4. A new mode called Countdown has also been added to Destiny, which is their first ever attack and defend mode. In addition, the player HUD has been updated, so players can actually now tell when their opponents have their super, or whether they've picked up power ammo or not.
Of course, we have
following up on major activities, a raid has been announced. However, whether it's going to be dropping on the day of Destiny 2 or a week later as before has not yet been confirmed.
The pinnacle activity, the biggest challenge. There's so much more to do as you explore. Now, you can launch all of the new activities in the world without going to orbit.
Probably one of the best things I've heard from this live stream so far.
There's still patrols.
Within the open universe of Destiny 2, patrols and public events will be making a return. However, Steve tells us about two new concepts that will be making an appearance. First, we have adventures. These are more like side quests where you go out of your way to help someone out and they reward you. The second concept is one of the ways that you can be rewarded, and that's called Lost Sectors. These mysterious locations will be marked on your map for you to explore, each with a boss within that holds the key to unlock the treasure.
All of this is going to be easier to find in Destiny 2 because of the new map to guide your way.
Now before moving on, I wanted to point out the colors and the banner that these types of Fallen are carrying. Is it possible that known houses that were said to be extinct, such as the House of Rain, of Scar, or of Stone, still exist? Or is this a new house that we haven't heard of yet? Now in Destiny 2, we have 4 new locations that we're going to be exploring. Earth, Nessus, Io, a moon of Jupiter, and Titan, a moon of Saturn. On Earth, we finally get to explore a little bit more of the European Dead Zone. Here we're going to find a refuge where we're going to be spending most of our time at.
Where humanity stops fleeing, and it's where they decide.
The next location is Titan. This moon of Saturn is encased in water. During the Golden Age, civilization built structures above the sea level, which are now catching up to these relics of old. Earlier in the stream, Luke mentions that Zavala and Ikora both run away after their defeat in the last age. Titan is where we'll rediscover Zavala. Third location is Nessus, a planet turned machine by the Vex. Although this place is not mentioned in Destiny 1, it's absolutely beautiful on the outside. However, it seems like there's more secrets within than what we can see. The last location is Io. This moon of Jupiter reminds me a lot of Venus. Furthermore, this is actually the last place in the solar system that the Traveler had touched. Hence why this is actually where Ikora runs off to. This location means a lot to Warlocks.
Now you can actually go directly from one planet to another planet without going to orbit first. You can just open the director, pick your new destination, and go straight there.
Our next speaker is the social lead M.E. Chung. For namesake, we'll just call her M. She lets us know that clans will be making a return into Destiny 2, but in a different format. This is actually going to include full in-game clan support, as well as you being able to customize your banners when others are looking for clans to join.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with clans, they're optional teams that you can join.
So whether you're
Now,
the
a
type of
huge
player
thing
who
that
raids
M
every
noted
week,
was that there's a
you only
joint
have the
effort
time
in your
to
clan.
jump into a
So
few
say for
PvP matches on the
example,
weekend.
you're more of a
Your
PvP player and you
contribution
go
will help
play
everyone in
Crucible
the
all the
clan
time,
get
that
rewards.
actually accumulates in the clan that you're with, even if your fellow fire teams or clan members don't actually play PvP
Now,
as often
we
as
realize
you do.
that
If they
joining a
play
clan is not for
PvE
everyone,
more
and that's
often
okay.
and you don't, they can
But
make up
this is
for
why I'm
that
super
progress
excited to
together
say
as a clan
that
entirely.
Clans are going to matter to you, even if you.
Last
Now,
but not least,
at a high
M
level,
talks to
guided
us
games is a
about
system
guided
where
games.
clans and solo
This is
players
literally
compete to
like
play
Destiny
challenging
LFG. Whether you're the
As a
one who's
solo
looking for a
player,
group
you
or
can
you're a
use
group
guided
looking for
games
another
to pick a
individual,
clan you
there's
wanna
now
be
an
paired with for
in-game
a session of the
roster
raid,
that you can
a
go
session
to
of trials,
find all these
or the
groups of
Nightfall
people
Strike.
that may need your help or assistance for some raids, trials, or
And the
any
most
other
important thing
activities
about
available.
this is that you get to see which clans are current.
Project lead Mark Noseworthy reminds us that connectivity is one of the most important pieces to Destiny 2, whether it be reconnecting with old friends or meeting new guardians in the field. Bungie's main goal is to make sure that every moment counts and to make sure that every activity is memorable.
I was sitting at the Sony E3 press conference a couple years ago. Here is the official gameplay trailer for Destiny 2.
As Mark closes his speech, he reveals to us the gameplay trailer for Destiny 2.
If you tell me this is a practical
Most
joke,
of the trailer recaps some of the scenes we've already seen earlier. Of course, there are some notable differences.
I'll do all day.
Ikora.
Here we get to take a quick look at the new design for the Cabal. As well, we get to see Zavala talking with Amanda and another Guardian on Titan.
But if we attack,
Not only are our Sparrows back, but now we can also ride in tanks, which will inevitably make taking out the Cabal a lot easier.
Alright, Guardian, time to kick him where it hurts.
Closing off Bungie's 1-hour live stream, the CEO of Activision, Eric Hirschberg, and the president of Blizzard Entertainment, Mike Morhaime, both remind us that Destiny 2 will be available on PC exclusively through Battle.net, Blizzard's online gaming service.
At Bungie for doing what they do.
Now, unfortunately, no release date has been confirmed yet for Destiny 2's beta coming out later this summer. However, we can expect Destiny 2 for sure, hopefully, to come out September 8th of 2017. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our look at Bungie's 1-hour live stream for Destiny 2. Let us know what your favorite part about the live stream was down in the comments below. Also, if you had any questions, theories, or speculations that weren't answered, don't forget to leave those down there as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and of course, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Keep on gaming, folks. See you then.